Hey guys, this is Tom Hanks. Welcome to another stream. Today we will have the third and final race in the tuning challenge of the Classic Rally competition. This will also mark the end of the Classic Rally competition, which is I can't believe I'm saying that, because it's been a series that I put a lot of effort into. But it's now gonna end, and that will also just end the automation series for now. I'm not saying it's never coming back, but for now I don't have any plans for more challenges or challenge series like this one. Right, so I'm gonna fire up BeamNG. As always, it's gonna take a second to switch over here on the stream, and I apologize for that. But give me a second. Right, that was my controller. We have a time trial on Pikes Peak Gravel Short. Okay, there we go. Oh, I didn't clear the lap times, the track times here. Give me a second while I do that. Just so we don't get any confusions in here. So BeamNG settings, professional streamer, by the way. Good. We're gonna launch this game again. Make sure it's full screen. And here we go. Time trials. Pikes Peak Gravel Short. And I'm gonna start with my own reference car. Okay, let's try this. A little bit late on the brakes there. Tried launching in second gear, but that's not gonna happen. Or if I do it like this, it is gonna happen. And it's actually making it launch pretty damn well. Hey Lowlife Max Camber, how's it going? Good, it's great to hear. No, I'm just warming up here in my own car, so we haven't gotten to the actual competitors yet. Oh, I just messed with the camera. trying to get the camera right again. There we go. Almost cut that too aggressively and flipped my car over. That would have been funny. A little bit of a stutter there. Presumably because the game loaded all of this and that is in the background now. A 254 is definitely not the best time I've gotten with this car here on Pikes Peak, but oh well, it is a first time. So, we're gonna start with the Falcon. Beautiful for that corner. Do you think these cars will beat the 1985 cars? I don't think so. Because the sheer power to weight ratios were just more extreme on the 1985 cars. And on Pikes Peak, power to weight is very important. The wing just had a mind of its own, yeah, it did. It parted ways with the rest of the car. Beautiful for there. This car feels very well optimized for this particular track. Except for that. The engine stalling. Wasn't that like right on cue as I said something positive? I think a lot of cars are tuned for Pikes Peak. Possibly because we saw a lot of cars really struggling on Italy. which is a very different course from here. So they might just have been set up for here instead of for Italy. Anyone remember the time, the winning time for the 1985 season? Wasn't it like 2:48? I was really bad with the turning point there. I was too early. Then I had to back off and kind of re-enter the corner, and that definitely cost me some time. That's a 250.5. So already nearly 4 seconds faster than my car. Very solid time here. Very solid performance. It felt really good. Next up we have the 500 SLC GB3 Type 1. This thing demands a little bit of a different driving style, as I've noted in Utah as well. You steer it mostly with the throttle, because turning the wheel, or in my case using the analog stick of the controller alone, isn't actually enough to get this thing around the corner. It only goes around if it drifts. Otherwise it'll understeer horribly. Which is of course a little bit of a problem, but one you can work around most of the time. And one that's not particularly fast, judging by the split times. Come on now. Car is pulling to the right. Come on. Barely. Barely made it through that that finish there. 300.9. Second place out of 2 so far. Let's see what that time is worth, because this is the overall leader so far. It is the least powerful car in the field though, but I still think it's going to do very well. And while it is the least powerful car in the field, it still makes 442 horsepower, which is a pretty healthy amount. Yeah, this still feels very good here. In fact, I was going a little bit too fast there and braking too late. It does feel like it's lacking a little bit of oomph compared to especially the Falcon, though. Oh, come on. At least it's putting its power down, yeah. That it does very well. In fact, I'd say it does that the best out of the entire field, although I'm not really doing it justice at the moment. Was in third gear there? This car can go through these hairpins, so not just this one, which is one of the wider ones, but also the one that preceded it, in second gear and use its torque to slingshot out, which is a thing that most other cars in the field can't do. It's gonna lose some time in between the hairpins though, compared to some cars which are just simply more powerful. Come on. I was trying to go a little bit too tight there. Also worth noting is that this car is relatively short gearing through the first 4 gears. So it goes through them relatively quickly, but then 5th gear is quite long, which is why I am never using it in the first split anymore. An overdrive in a rally car, I don't think it's necessarily an overdrive. I think, and I've done this myself as well. I've basically set the sort of top speed in auto mission and then fiddled a little bit with the individual gear ratios, and then but the top speed stayed the same. So that's how you end up with that sort of situation. I think it still can reach the top speed that it's geared to. It's just that it's geared more for acceleration in the gears 1 through 4, which are obviously going to be a lot more commonly used in rallying than 5th gear is. Anyway, still fast time, 2:51.2, only behind the Falcon so far, but we've got some more cars to go. Let's see. Now for this car, I think I'm gonna lock all 3 diffs. Which almost makes it feel like I'm driving on ice, apparently, but... Come on, turn! I'm gonna restart there. Hey, Jointed Cloud 416, thanks for joining. And also thanks for that comment. This is what rally driving is all about, isn't it? Going sideways as fast as possible off-road. From point A to point B. No torque in this thing, huh? Turn. See, this is the thing. Unless you enter the corner sideways, this car apparently does not turn. We do have a handbrake to do this, though. And so also sometimes just weight transfer is enough, but sometimes it isn't. Maybe unlock the front diff. I feel like that makes it worse. Either way, we are gonna finish here. And that's a 258.5. Remember, like by most car standards, anything under 3 minutes is very fast by most car standards. Here, obviously, it's kind of expected for these cars to finish under 3 minutes, but still, in the grand scheme of things, these are very fast times on this course. I expect this thing to be pretty quick here as well, if I can keep it under control. Which I had troubles with on Italy. This basically drifts by itself. Ah. That was not the drift type I was wanting there. Just kind of reset my steering. Set me straight. It's so fast though. It does very good weight transfer. It basically just... I just have to turn and the car is gonna do this. Oops. Two 250.0. So we have a new leader. Okay. Yeah, I mean, just the brute power of this thing, like the sheer acceleration, is off the charts. That's why this is so quick up here. However, this particular car was no slouch either previously in terms of when it comes to just acceleration. It's a bit too loose here, though. Similar speed and similar sort of handling to the last car we saw, so although the initial turn in response isn't quite as quick, it's not quite as immediately transitioning into oversteer as the previous car, which makes it more predictable. More sort of linear, if you will. Here it just didn't have any front bite, it just didn't go around the corner, it just kind of slid straight on. Sideways, but still. It's gonna be really difficult to catch the other car here. The reason I'm not saying the car names here is because they're all tuned Mercedes 500 SLCs and they all have pretty similar names to each other, so it does get confusing for me, and even if I did memorize every car name to the point, it would also be confusing to the viewers. .251.4. Not the new leader, but still a very respectable time. Last but definitely not least, we have the Mercedes 500 SLC by LLMC. I remember these cars by livery. True. Yeah. And this one is definitely a standout in that regard, and I love it. I remembered this car having short gearing, so I figured I'd launch in second gear, and it turned out pretty well. This car is flying too, though. A little bit late on the brakes there, though. Okay, I'm not gonna try grabbing fourth for that corner there. Stick in third. Come on. It's accelerating too quickly there. It's the sheer speed is carrying it outside, and it can't quite hold the line anymore. That's a problem I haven't seen on any other car yet, and this is the last one in the field as well, so come on, I downshifted to second. Again, like it's just too fast there. Although of course you're going to be saying better too fast than too slow, right? It is just too fast here. I always find myself kind of sliding a little bit on those in that braking zone, and then the rear taps the barrier, and then that resets my steering input. So I'm going straight on as opposed to keeping up with the turn in, and that's the challenge I'm facing here at the moment. See that? Tapping the barrier there, even just slightly, completely made the car spin the opposite way. There as well. It is kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. The handling is almost feels a little bit like I'm driving on ice. The initial turning is good, but then it doesn't put the power down, you know. Slide too much sideways. That's not really... I don't know how to describe it. It's like... The initial turning is good, but it doesn't grip up after that. Like you can't go round the corner even when you're off throttle. It's just kind of suggest the general direction and then kind of slide on, as opposed to gripping and going round the corner, you know. but I've managed it rather well so far on this run. Shouldn't have spoken too soon. And even though this is definitely the quickest accelerating car in the field, I don't think the split times were particularly good. Or am I wrong with that? I could be wrong, I'm gonna check. We'll see in the finish line anyway. Because you have to brake so early, and there's also this little problem with putting the power to the ground. I damaged the front right suspension, so let's try again. It's okay, we're gonna get to the finish line. That was about as smooth as I could have done that first split. I don't know if the splits were any faster on this run compared to the last one, but this feels like a better run than last one. $254.8. Okay, good. So, we have a winner for today, which is the Mercedes 500 SLC Project B1. So that is the car from Random 41. So let me see. Then in second place we have the Falcon. In third place we have the where is it? Here, the Group B R3. Man, this is gonna be tight overall. Then we have the MRC 500. Then we have this, the LLMC. Then we have the Group B Rally. And in last place we have the GB3 Type 1. Okay, so I gotta do the scores now, because I genuinely don't know who's gonna win overall here. So let's I'm gonna go by the order in which they were sent in, okay? So 4 points plus 7 plus 6 equates to 17. Very strong result there. Then 2 plus 5 plus 5 is 12. We have 5, 3, and 2. That makes 10. We have 6, 2, and 7. That makes 15. We have 7, 6, and 5. That's 18. We have 3, 1, 1. That's 5. 1, 4, 3. That is 8 points. Right. So we have a winner. Overall, the Group B R3 is still the winner by 1 point, so 18 points for this one. Second place overall is going to be the Falcon, and then third place overall is going to be the Project B1. So these three are going to get the RUF Yellowbird. I am also gonna try and drive the Yellowbird on Pikes Peak, though not on gravel. Not on gravel. I'm not feeling quite that suicidal. Smart decision. Man, you can just brake so much later on asphalt. So I was very early on the brakes there. Okay. Let's let the Yellowbird fly on the straight here. A little bit of a drift there. unintentional, but bad line through there. That definitely cost me a second or two. Remember, this is tarmac. If you can keep a tight racing line there, you can save a lot more time than, you know, on gravel. It's not that bad, because sure, a good line is always advantageous, but on gravel you can sort of, you're gonna be drifting either way, so you'd rather be drifting a good line than a bad one, obviously, but I feel like on tarmac the difference is more dramatic. And this thing is actually going to be slower on tarmac than our tuned Mercedes cars are on gravel. Or at least the top cars. 252.3. Wasn't an ideal run by any means, but, you know. Overall, this is still far from slow, obviously. Just for fun, I'm also gonna go to the West Coast and do a 1985 cars were faster, I think. I think the winner in 85 was like a 248, and here the winner was like a 250.0, so yes, 85 cars were a little bit faster, at least the top cars. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the quarter mile. And I'm gonna start in the RUF, why not? And then I'm gonna drive our rally cars. I think the gearing in the RUF is a little bit too long for this particular drag strip, because the tarmac is so sticky it's gonna bog down at the start. I think that's gonna happen anyway. Yeah. Look at it go, though. Crossed the finish line at nearly 200 kilometers an hour. 12.5. If it had a better start, this could easily do under 12. Gonna go with my own car here first. Who's gonna win this, do you think? Don't know. 11.2. Now that's a quick quarter mile time. Let's go to the Falcon, which I think is gonna have a pretty good shot at winning here. This is the most powerful car in the competition, after all. 11.39. It's actually slower than my naturally aspirated car with 500 horsepower. This makes 731. Huh, okay. That's a bit of a surprise. To me, at least. I mean, there are still turbocharged cars coming up, so... including this one. .11.0. This makes 597 horsepower, by the way. So 11.0 is gonna take the lead for now. But we've got 5 more cars. This, I feel like, is not... it is gonna do well, but I don't think it's gonna be near the top. I mean, overall, it's still obviously a fast car. .442 horsepower here. .11.7. So on this one, I'm definitely gonna lock all 3 diffs. I think that's the only viable setup here for the drag strip. .11.02. Yep, that's the lead. It just fires off the line. It has such a great launch. In terms of, you know, pulling power once they get rolling, this doesn't feel like it's the best at that, but the launch is just incredible. Next up is probably my favorite when it comes to the acceleration. This is where my money's on. Assuming it can get a good launch, because remember, first gear goes up to 100 kilometers an hour, so it's very long. It might bog down. Which it kind of did. .003. It did take the lead after all. Close race for first, indeed, yeah. And I think your car has got something to say as well. And so does this. Oh my god. Do you see that? Let's call that tied though, like it's 1,000th of a second. That's a tie. I mean, that's as close to measurement error as you're gonna get, or you know, driver error, if or what have you. couldn't have made this up. Now, should I launch your car in first or second gear, do you think? Because first gear is very short. I'm gonna try launching in second gear. Okay, let's try first. Definitely better. And and this actually wins in the end. 10.985. The only car below 11 seconds. Awesome. Well, so in terms of just straight line acceleration, the LLMC was in fact the quickest car in the quarter mile. So that's gonna do it for today and also for this classic rally competition. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been a bit over 3 months that this competition has been taking place. It's now come to an end, and I want to thank the guys who continually watched and for their support. And that's gonna be the end of my automation and BeamNG streams for the time being. I will still stream other stuff on my Twitch channel starting next week. If you're interested, I'm gonna be playing games like management games, so stuff like City Skylines, Planet Coaster, Prison Architect, and things of that nature, which is gonna be fun. And yeah, so I'm gonna be exporting this to YouTube in a moment, and hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you again on stream in the future as well, even if it's not automation and BeamNG. Until then, have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.